When was the last time you actually looked at where your money went? Not what you planned, not what you budgeted, what you actually spent, like takeout, lunch, maybe it was gambling, whatever. If you can't answer those questions that I just asked, this episode is for you. Welcome back to another episode of Giving All of My Experience. I am your host, Rashad.
And I'm your hostess, Sade.
And today we're going to discuss the title. I think the title says it all. Yeah, we lost some money. I don't I don't really know how you want to say it, but we lost some bread. Just to give you some backstory into it is that we met with our financial advisor. I want to say it was either December or January, but it might have been December, just because of the holidays and everything that we had going on. But we sat down and we met with Matthew, and of course we hit like the stuff that we need to pay, but we were looking for like $2,000, and Matthew was like, "Well, it still say that you guys got $2,000 left to spend, and it only show right now that you got like $800 in your checkings account. Like, what's going on? Like, where did $2,000 go?" And I remember just like looking at him like confused because I'm like, "Damn, bro, like, did we really spend $2,000 and don't know where the hell where the hell we spent it at?" And like you say that now, thinking back at it, laughing, but at the time you like, damn, feeling dumb, feeling embarrassed. I'm pretty sure we have all been there. I'm pretty sure anybody listening to this have been there. It might not have been 2,000. It could have been 200. Shoot, it could have been 1,000, whatever the number was. But I know we've all been there before, to where we was just like embarrassed in that moment. And I remember just like grasping for straws, trying to give him an answer. And honestly, I couldn't give him an answer because it was just a combination of things. You got the holidays. We like to take lunch dates whenever we're off. We like to enjoy each other time, take lunch dates, and just enjoy each other company. I know she loves wine, so Fridays I may go grab her a couple bottles of wine. Yes, a couple, because we both drink it. I love whiskey and scotch, so I come in the house with so many different bottles of like whiskey and shot scotch. I remember I came in the house. I want to say that was Thanksgiving. I came in the house and I had that Japanese whiskey.
Oh
And
yeah.
Charlie was like, "What the hell is that?" I was like, "Hey, man, I seen it. I just wanted to buy it." So I felt like that's probably what got us to this point of us just spending unnecessary money. And it kind of hurt. Like, the thing about it is that Sade doesn't even really check out finances. I'm not trying to say that she isn't really into the finances, but she only checks the account when she wants to spend some money, or her spidey senses get the tingling and I done did something, and she'll send me a text like, "What's this purchase you just did?" And I just be like thinking to myself like, "Bro, like, how did you even know that I spent money? Like, why every time I spend money you figure it out?"
I mean, I guess I got a way of knowing. And it's literally every time. Like, I would just be like, all right. And I guess it would be a time like if I want to go buy something, like, all right, say it's a Friday and I'm like, all right, let me check the accounts to see where we're at so that I can know exactly where our numbers are so that I can get whatever I want
Mm-hmm.
for lunch, just in case. Do I do a bougie girl lunch and spend like 20 something dollars, or do I
A
do a
bougie girl lunch.
yes, $20 is a lot of money for lunch if you ask me. But then at the same time, if you're ordering off a DoorDash, it kind of amounts. That's the thing. But anyway, or do I want to go the cheap route and get like a slice of pizza or something like that? That's like what, $8. So bougie or cheap. But anyway, um, yeah, normally like it's those times when I realize like, all right, let me check the account and see where we're at. And I realized that during that time frame of like December and January, during the holidays, we weren't checking in with each other.
No,
We
we was just
weren't
swiping.
like saying like, okay, this is what I'm spending. I wasn't writing down any numbers like far as in bills. Like, we were just freelancing is what I call it. I think that's the proper word for
Yeah,
it.
we
So
was
like,
freelancing,
we were
just going with the
just
flow.
going with the flow. We didn't have a plan. I think we talked a little bit about this the last episode of having a system. We didn't have a system in place.
Yeah, the system
So
was just swipe and think later,
yeah.
and it came back to
And
bite us in the ass.
mm, and our financial advisor started to notice that we weren't checking in with each other, we weren't being disciplined, and he was getting pissed off, and we were getting pissed off
he
with
he gets
ourselves as
so
well.
like so with Matthew, he gets pissed off in such the nicest way.
Yeah.
Like he'll slam the pen down on the desk and he'll just do like this big huff, like "Oof." And he's like, all right, guys, like
You're not being freaking disciplined.
yeah. So now we have to meet every Saturday. Like, I mean,
Hmm.
even though that's something that we were already doing beforehand, but now we really have to hone in and like really respect
Hold
that.
ourselves accountable
Yeah.
to that. Like, and even if it's late at night after like having company over, we still meet with each other. So holding each
Yeah.
other
So
accountable
I remember
is very
when we
important.
was why you just tone that part out? Yeah,
Oh no,
of
it's
course.
very important. Holding each other accountable is very important.
Yeah, that's a very important part. That so I like that. Well, I remember our first Saturday that we actually said we was going to sit down to talk to each other. I think that was right after we had the call with Matthew. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was scared. Like I was like, yo, I don't even
Mm.
feel like having this conversation with Sade. She probably already cussed me out. Cause I went back and I looked at some stuff and I was like, bro, you was just swiping. Like you wasn't even paying attention. And I remember going to the conversation and not really wanting to talk. And before I could say anything, Sade straight out the rip was just like, before we had this discussion, I want you to know the frustration, my anger to whatever we about to discuss, it ain't gonna solve anything. Like it's already happened, it's already done.
Yeah.
What is that gonna do? Let's just figure it out. And I felt like from that point, it was just like the Planet Fitness joint. This is a judgment free zone. So we just had a
Hmm.
judgment free conversation, and it really
It
went
was,
smooth.
yeah, it was good too. It
Yeah,
felt good, like to get like what he had off his chest and then what I had off my chest, and it be like we both just agree. It was like we were just really holding each other. Like he said that I'm gonna hold myself accountable for this, and then I would say how I felt about whatever happened, and then I would also, because I would never allow him to just be like, oh, it's all me. I say it takes two to tango,
no, it definitely takes two to
because
tango.
if I'm also not writing down my numbers, if I'm also not communicating what I'm doing as well, I can't just get mad at you all the time. I have to also look at myself and be like, okay, where do I um fit in this problem, and how can we both solve it together?
Yeah, no, definitely. And I will say, even though it does take two to tango, I kind of put the burden on myself because at the end of the day, I am like the leader of my house.
Hmm.
And I tell Sade out right off the rip, is this is not to downplay her importance in the family. This is not to shame her, just financially because I am the breadwinner of the house. It's none of those things. It's just one of those things where I feel like the family goes as far as I go. And I feel like any dad that's out here, any man that's out here that's leading this house probably feel the same. They may not say it, but I feel like we have a comfortable enough relationship now to where we can have those discussions and you not feel some type of way of what I'm saying. And that's just how I feel. So when we come into the conversations, especially these kind of conversations,
Mm.
I take it more difficult because I feel like, Shad, you should know better.
Yeah.
Like you are the person that's holding this house together, financially, emotionally, spiritually, because that's what we're here for. You are my rock. You're my partner. You're my partner. But at the same time, I feel like I have a big weight into this partnership because if I'm not right, then you're not gonna be right. So it's
Yeah.
like if I say to you, "Oh, babe, don't worry about it. Just swipe the card." You ain't gonna second guess it because you like shit. If he telling me swipe this
Okay.
card, if he if I'm out here telling you just go ahead and swipe the card, you ain't gonna second guess it.
Mm-mm.
But I know that if you want to swipe the card, like you said, say you out on lunch at work and you like, bro, I know I want to go to Chick-fil-A today and splurge on whatever you like to splurge on. Maybe you want to get the combo, the big boy meal plus a milkshake or whatever. Maybe you want to splurge,
Mm-hmm.
and I know you'll check the account. But if we're on the phone and you like, well, I'm about to go such and such, I'm like, all right, we're just gonna swipe the card. You're not gonna check the account because you're just like, all right, he gave me confirmation that it's good. And the whole time I ain't even checked.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was just to give y'all some just to give y'all some insight on what I did to get myself better was I went through and I scanned the last 90 days of what we spent. So I went all the way back to I want to say like October all the way up to January. So that might be 100, that might be 120 days, not 90. But
Yeah.
I went back 120 days and I literally talked to ChatGPT at the time and gave it all of my transactions and told it to break it down into categories, and we had seen that we spent I want to say about a cool 1,500 on like takeout from October
Hmm.
to January. So we started to see where the mistakes were, like just what was going wrong in our plan, where was the leaky faucet at, and we found it. And so what you start to do is you just start to write a plan. Even though we have our budget, our data budget, where we can go on our phone, we can go on our laptop. Everybody loves technology. My grandmother always told me to write stuff down. If you want it to really stick into your brain, you write it down.
Hmm.
So I start to write down game plans of where my money is going before I got paid. I had to go back to basics basically. Like
Hmm.
I was starting from scratch, but essentially I'm not starting from scratch. I'm just we figuring things back out. And I'm saying that to say to whoever's listening to this, if you're in this spot right now where financially you feel like you're not in the right place, go download your last 90 to 120 days transaction. Talk to ChatGPT. You don't have to pay for it, it's free. And give it the information and just ask for it to categorize where your money is went so you can start finding those leaky faucets because you're never going to be able to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish in life if you aren't taking these things serious. So
Yeah.
you just got to get back to the basics.
Yeah. Basically, I would agree.
That was a crazy pause. I would agree. But yeah, so one of the other things I did was just writing down notes. I like to write down a lot of notes. So if I don't pay a bill, or if I do pay a bill, I want to explain to myself at that time, just when I look back at it a week later to see where I was at mentally, just to explaining why I didn't pay a bill, or if I did pay it, what's next up after that. So I would say the thing that kind of also helped us out too was that we kind of found a lane for each other. Like, um, I'm more strategic when it comes to things, so I sit down and I kind of like build the plan, and
Hmm.
then I'll come and talk to Sade, and then we have the discussion to figure out if it's anything that needs to be added to the plan, anything maybe that needs to be subtracted from. So
Yeah.
Sade pretty much she gets to be the passenger princess.
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah, in a sense. But that works out in our favor just because of the simple fact is that again we created that judgment free zone. So what were like uh what was the what was the most shocking thing to you outside of takeout? Like what was the most shocking thing to you that you felt like we spent money on? Was it just like the Amazon purchase? Because we did do a lot of Amazon purchases.
I would say that I feel like I can't really think of nothing else with takeout,
Yeah, takeout
honestly,
was crazy.
because that was I know majority of our money was going towards that. And Amazon purchases, yes, we were
I
spending,
felt like every other
but
day
we
was an
also
Amazon package.
had a budget. Well, during maternity leave
Well, yeah, no,
for
yeah, that's true.
for
That's
like
true.
like if we wanted to splurge on Amazon, if we wanted to just get ourselves something, just because. But yeah, takeout was really crazy. I remember telling Sheila, our best friend, about the numbers of that one month when we spent like $800
Yeah, that
on
was.
takeout.
So I think that was at the end, like getting towards the very end of Sade, about to have Chloe.
Hmm.
So we was going to the doctors like every 2 weeks, and so what would happen was that after we go to the
I was
doctors,
always hungry.
she was always hungry, and we somehow always ended up at like some steakhouse, or we just ended up in one of our favorite restaurants in like Ellicott
Hmm.
City, and we just chilling, just vibing and eating,
Yeah,
enjoying each other
that
company,
was that was
really
our way of having fun.
eating our pockets to death, eating our pockets to death. Sound
Oh
like Chloe
man.
upstairs kirking out on the kids.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, the good thing was that even though we were out of control in a sense, we had enough self awareness to like check ourselves and be like, all right, like y'all got y'all got to get back on track. And I feel that's where we weren't. I was about to say weren't was. That's where we wasn't a couple years ago. I remember a couple years ago when we was in situations like this. Myself personally, I would either talk myself into a depression, like in my head, just thinking myself into a depression, and then after I got into that depression stage, I would get angry to the point where I don't even want to talk to nobody. I'm sitting to myself, Sade, like, you good? And I'm like real standoffish. It's because I really don't want to talk because I know I done made some mistakes that I shouldn't have made financially because I hold myself to a higher standard. And then we would then sit down and talk and figure things out. But
Mm-hmm.
this go round, because of the fact is that we've just been more open with communicating to each other. Also having Matthew too, having those conversations where you gotta go underneath the hood and like really see what you messed up. We didn't have to go through that. Like we had the conversation. It was no depression stage. It was no anger stage. It was, all right, what we gonna do to get fixed? Like
Yeah.
how we gonna fix the situation?
Yeah, pretty much so. No, I went back to, I mentioned in the beginning, like writing down numbers, seeing exactly like what, I guess, small debts had to be paid, um, and things like that.
Yeah,
And I've been doing that ever since. And I feel like I know for sure it's working because I didn't even realize this month I had like paid on like two bills like early than what I could have. I could have waited, but now I'm looking like, okay, cool. I
yeah. We
just
could have
paid
saved
it.
some money for me to spend on Bitcoin.
Yes, but anyways, now it's a good thing. So we're already just that small thing where seeing that we already know that the system is starting to work. So writing down your numbers, going over them at least weekly, or if you can't do it weekly, bi-weekly, to just understand like where your money is going so that you don't feel like that your money is controlling you and you're actually controlling it.
Yeah, so I will say, just talking to coworkers at my job, a lot of the wives don't get involved into their finances. Like they feel like, oh, well, my husband is like the breadwinner. Um, he should focus on that stuff. Like I know, just talking to them, they were like, man, my wife don't really get too involved with the money. Now, some of them do. Like, what would you say? What would you say to a woman in your shoes, a woman in your age range, and her and her boyfriend are trying to figure out their finances, or her and her husband's trying to figure out their finances? What would you say to them as like just a piece of advice from the female's perspective?
I would say get involved. I would say don't be afraid to ask questions about your money. I would say that because there there will, and you know, God's will come a time when my husband won't be here. So if I don't learn how to operate the money that's coming in, then when he's gone or vice versa when I'm gone, like you won't have no knowledge. So I don't know a lot about the investments and the Bitcoin and stuff, but Rashad, he'll sit me down and he'll have on videos time from time, and I'll sit there and I'll listen to
Yeah,
them.
was she not strolling on Instagram?
Yes. But I would say get involved because it's important. It's not only important for you, but if you have children, it's important for them as well
Yeah,
to
definitely.
know how to operate money, to know how to not allow it to like control you.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't have a system, you feel lost. Like you feel like you can't catch a break. So when things are like stuff comes up with your car, stuff may come up with your children where you have to take off and stuff like that, like small things, y'all. You need to know what to do with the money, how to maneuver, what to use, how to do this, how to do that. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask your husband, like, how do we even file taxes? Even when if you want to do that, like, go as far as in that, but don't just sit there and be like, oh, my husband's going to take care of everything. And I mean, if that's what you want to do, to each his own, but I'm just telling you, don't just be a passenger like Princess, even though Rashad said I am one. But I am still learning at some, like, at my, I guess, measurement of learning. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying right
Your
now.
own
But
speed.
yes, at my own speed. Thank you.
She got so caught up in the Holy Ghost, she forgot words. She was over there preaching. I forgot we was recording a podcast. I thought we was at church.
Don't gas me up like that, man.
Yeah, so just for the people that listen today, I would just say starting over from scratch doesn't mean that you failed. What you got to remember is you still have everything that you learned up to the point of whatever crisis that you're going through. You still have the wisdom. You have your partner. If you're grateful that you and your partner have open communication, and just keep your faith. Just getting realigned with your faith. That also plays a big part too, because one of the other things that we didn't mention is in the midst of that splurging and doing all of that stuff, we wasn't stewarding into the Word of God like we originally were. And it could have been just one of those things where God was just kind of like realigning us by disengaging our lives. If that makes sense. Might have used the wrong word there. But
That
yeah,
sounds
it's
right to
just
me.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, I just feel like, in the midst of us being unaligned with God, He showed us how our life can be, how chaotic our life can be without Him involved in it. So I would just say to you out there, if you just starting over, man, just start over. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Use the
Yeah.
information that you've gained up to this point. Learn from your mistakes. Document your mistakes so you can learn from it, and also so your kids can learn from it.
Yeah.
Like that.
I love that.
Yeah, so that will conclude today's episode. Before we go today, I do want to give a shout out to my Common Dad team. As you can see, the father figure hat. I love this hat. This is like one of my favorite hats. The tone of it is crazy. We're just bringing back dads being great. Make dads great again.
I like that.
Yeah, matter. Make dads great again. That's how we gonna call. That's how we gonna close it. For those who enjoyed this episode, we just ask that you like, share, repost, comment, do all of that stuff. All of your feedback, even if it's you don't like the audio, whatever it is, just give us the comment back so we know what we need to build on. You can follow me on social media on Instagram at Rashad.Williams Senior. I'll have it in the show notes because I know that's a lot. You can follow us on Instagram at Giving All of My Experience, all one word, on YouTube and Instagram, and soon to be TikTok. I'm gonna change the TikTok name. Where can the people find you?
You can find me at Shaad Williams, 2 underscores, or Shaade spelled backwards, 3 E's.
Yeah, I'll put all of that in the descriptions because I don't know nothing about that. We will see you next Tuesday, man. We really appreciate you guys. Yeah, thank you for just tuning in with us.
Good night.